Honourable members, the first item on the order paper is member statements. Does any member of the ANC wish to make a statement?
Yes, thank you, Honourable Chairperson of the House.
Honourable Khadebe, may I just ask your colleagues there at the back just to lower the noise so that we can hear you? Please continue, Honourable Khadebe.
Oh, thank you, Chairperson. The ANC has noted with sadness the incident that took place in the Free State province, Jahafontein, where 3 people lost their lives and many injured after a dam wall collapsed, causing a mudslide. The disaster unfolded at about 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, the 11th September, in the diamond mining town, which is situated in Kopaneng local municipality. About 40 people have since been taken to hospital after sustaining injuries, while 4 people have been confirmed to be missing. Homes and vehicles were swept away, people were displaced and others lost property. Power was down, water supply had been disrupted, and telecommunication lines had been disturbed in the area. The ANC expresses appreciation to the role played by the provincial, national, and local government in providing support and assistance to the affected communities. We urge communities to remain calm and allow the investigation to take place. We call upon the mining industry to take responsibility for the people and environmental protection. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the people who lost their lives in the incident. We wish the injured survivors a speedy recovery and a positive outcome in the search for the missing residents. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The DA.
Thanks, Chair. A cocktail of bad economic policies, corruption, a cowardly stance on the Russia-Ukraine war, and a government that stopped caring about those that it has meant to serve has led us to a cost of living crisis that we face today. 30 million South Africans live under poverty. In fact, 41% of people cannot feed their family.
Honourable members, this is Tanya Lyons from the National Assembly table. We've lost our link with the House. We're just busy trying to re-establish it.
Oh, okay, noted. We were worried. We thought maybe it's network.
Thank you.
Honourable members, we have the chamber back online. We're just testing the platform, the mics, and if you just give us a few minutes, we should be online soon.
Can you hear us from the chamber?
I can hear you from the chamber and I can see you clearly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Podium test 1, 2. Tanya, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, Mario.
Speakers mic 1, 2.
I can hear you.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress. Recording stopped. Recording stopped.
Testing communications 1T, T1T. Testing boots 1T. Testing 1T. Boots, can you hear me? English. Okay, you can listen to English and I take it down. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you in English. Let's go to 3. Yes, I can hear you, number 3. Yes, 4. Let's go to 5. Yes, yes, go to 5. Yes, number 5, go to 6. Yes, I can hear you. Go to 6, please. Let's go to 6. Number 6. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear you? Just hold on. Yes, go to 6. Yes. Five, I can hear you. Yes, 5, please. Okay, just number 5. Okay, move to 6, please. Yes, can I give you? Move to 7, please. Yes, move to 8, please. Yes, yes, move to 9, please. Yes, move to 10, please.
Russia-Ukraine war and a government that stopped caring about those it has meant to serve has led us to the cost of living crisis that we face today. 30 million South Africans live under poverty. In fact, 41% of people cannot feed their families, while 81% of them are already skipping meals daily. 7 out of 10 young people remain unemployed with no prospect for a future. All this while our government dithers. To understand the priorities of this government, one only has to look at the repairing of a single pothole by the president in Mpumalanga to much fanfare. The casualties of this detached government are the millions of people who look to the people in this house for solutions to the problems that they face. This is why last week the DA tabled a number of solutions to cushion the most vulnerable from crushing poverty. Cut the fuel taxes and levies to lower the cost of transport, reallocate the 50 million donation to Cuba to struggling South Africans, review the zero-rated food items which have become staples in many homes like chicken, tinned food, wheat, and baby food. We implore this government to immediately implement these solutions if they are serious about combating poverty.
The EFF.
Thank you very much, House Chair. We will stay with roads. There's a road between Macheng and Molalema D206 in the Dr. Ruth Mompati district in Greater Taung local municipality that's being upgraded from gravel to tar. The project started in September 2019, and this project was supposed to be finished by July 2021. It has been 3 years and the project has been stopped completely. The squabbles between the Provincial Department of Roads in the Northwest and the contractors have left people without a reliable road. In fact, the people were better off with their gravel road. It's not the public's fault that the Provincial Department understated the project and did not plan properly. We have tried to reach out to the Minister to ask for his intervention. It is clear now that there are people who do not want the road to be completed. The fact that the project has been done by the Provincial Department does not absolve the Minister of Transport. We'd like to know why the D206 project stopped and when it will be resumed. The project started when I was deployed to Dr. Ruth in 2019, and people were relieved that finally there was a road, but today they are worse off than they were before the road was started. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The ANC.
Thank you, House Chair. The A kicked out of Knysna Council. It would be remiss of the ANC not to welcome the recent developments in Knysna where the DA reign in that area came to an end. On 31st of August, after councillors passed a vote of no confidence against Mayor Davis and Deputy Williams, the vote of no confidence, which was tabled by the ANC and its coalition partners, carried 11 votes against 10. Aubrey Tengwa from the ANC has taken over the post of mayor from Davis, a DA member whose coalition was with Williams, the Knysna independent movement. The ANC also secured the position of speaker, which is occupied by Nedisi Kosana, who praised Tengwa as the face of the town. Die plaaslike inwoording, Albertino Marble, was elected deputy speaker. We wish the newly elected members well and hope that they serve Knysna with fairness, transparency, and commitment.
The IFP.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. South Africa's public healthcare system is crippled with inequality and inadequate sources, and more importantly, a lack of healthcare professionals. With only 70% of South Africans' populations depend on public healthcare, this is a grave injustice. South Africa has fallen qualified medical doctors available for sadly. They cannot practice their profession due to administrative delays and incompetence of the part of Health Professionals Council of South Africa. Many foreign qualified medical graduates have been waiting for years to be admitted at the Health Professional Council. Is only exploring means of expanding board examinations. The continuous shifting send of procedure by by Health Professional Council of South Africa to gatekeep the entry of foreign qualified medical practitioner is not just incompetent, but burdening crime criminally. The government and the HPSCA owe it to the people of South Africa to provide as many qualified health professionals as possible to capacitate our overburdened hospitals and clinics. Foreign qualified health professionals who have academically trained for years have stood up in number to offer their skills to our clinic, declining healthcare system. However, they are continuously met with restrictions, limitations, and delays, and sit idly for months, and sometimes even years, waiting for opportunity to write their medical board examination. The IFP—
Honourable Member, your time is now expired. Thank you. The FF Plus.
Thank you, House Chairperson. The recent disaster that hit the town of Jagersfontein could most probably have been prevented. The community of Jagersfontein has for several years been complaining about the risks posed by the tailings dam. This was brought to the attention of the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, but the department failed to act. According to a thorough investigation, House Chairperson, is needed, and if the possible negligence and non-compliance by the mine are confirmed, those responsible must be held to account. The Minister and his department will also have to account as to why the department did not do the necessary to ensure compliance and to prevent this type of mining disaster. Government will have to act concertedly to assist the Kopanong local municipality to effectively deal with this disaster. The disrupted water and electricity supply to the town, as well as the destroyed sewage plant, should be priority. This is an ecological disaster with soil and water contamination. Further damage and tragedy should be mitigated by preventing access of the public to the affected area. The tailings most probably contain toxic substances which pose serious health risks to human and animals. Access control is currently lacking. The FF Plus House Chairperson conveys our heartfelt condolences to the community and especially to those who have lost loved ones, their homes and possessions in this tragic event. I thank you.
The ANC.
Thank you, House Chair. The DA is losing grip on the city of Johannesburg, accusing the ANC of eyeing municipality budgets in the battle for control of the city of Johannesburg. The DA national leader, John Steenhuisen, will do well to focus on the facts that there is a reason why the minority parties, including the ATM and COPE and Al-Jama, amongst others, are working together to remove the DA's mayor, Dr. Mpho Phalatse. Just recently, on the 1st September 2022, the DA speaker, Vasco da Gama, was voted out in council meeting after a motion for his removal was tabled by the PAC, was backed by the ANC and the Economic Freedom Fighters. His removal was due to his overreach administratively when he went ahead with the appointment of Mr. Mulekwa despite a council resolution to the contrary, and also sought to mislead council and the council meeting held on the 11th and 15th August by fronting Mr. Kubika and the acting secretary of council, when in fact Mr. Mulekwa had been acting in that capacity from the 15th July 2022. Shame on the DA. The DA, through that typical undermining and patronizing behavior, has created a political environment for these parties to unite against it. This was not caused by the ANC, but the DA's unwillingness to deliver services to residents. All six parties together. The DA mayor is out. It's a matter of time. She's coming out. That
Thank you. The DA.
Thank you, Chair. Since the revelations last week that the post office hasn't paid some 700 million rand towards their staff medical aid contributions, I've had a great deal of information sent to me. In the communications committee, we were told the members' portion was paid over, but the management portion was not. The documents I have say otherwise. Post office managers from various provinces have said the full amount is deducted from their salaries monthly, but then not paid over. And indeed, not only is the medical aid now cutting off their membership in 10 days' time, but that the outstanding amount, which runs to tens of thousands of rands for each individual, will be deducted from their pensions. Let me repeat, these contributions have already been deducted from their salaries. This proof will be forwarded today to Lieutenant General Labia of the Hawks, who I've asked to do a full investigation. Additionally, there is proof that pensions, UIF, PAYE, and VAT are taken from staff salaries and not a cent paid over to the relevant bodies. Now, if I did that as an employee, I would be expected to be arrested. The PO is in the process of closing 130 of its offices, has blown through the last 80 billion rand bailout, and is now asking for another 2.4 billion from Treasury. The Hawks will soon reveal who exactly is scoring from this fraud, and the next step on the part of the DA will be to lay criminal charges. Minister, wherever you are you going to suspend the board and top management today? And if you won't, explain to this House why on earth not?
The ACDP. Order, honourable members.
Thank you, House Chair. Reports that thugs with pangas are terrorizing residents of Diepkloof near Johannesburg are concerning indeed. Despite additional police resources and personnel that were recently introduced to reduce crime in the area, armed gangs are reportedly continuing to rob people on the street and hack some of them to death. Residents say that there was a difference in the first 2 weeks after Police Minister Begicele introduced 50 additional police personnel and 16 vehicles to help fight crime in the community in April. But now crime is increasing again and residents are living in fear for their lives. As police efforts seem to be failing to eradicate crime in Diepkloof, the ACDP believes that the police minister and his management should go back to the drawing board to scratch out a new strategy to fight crime in that area, and also introduce new or advanced measures that will teach criminals that crime does not pay. This has to be done as a matter of urgency so that residents of Diepkloof can start living in peace and safety again. Until then, the ACDP calls on the police minister to tell South Africans, particularly the people of Diepkloof, what his government and department in particular is planning to do to restore law and order in the country so that our residents, commuters, and those using public transport can be assured of safety wherever they live, work, or travel. Thank you.
Thank you. The ANC.
Le rasa, ke a leboga modulasetulo ke a o tamiša. Re na bjalo ka lekgotla la badimo le batho lekgotla la African National Congress. Re leka go ba re ganetšana le go fediša kudu-kudu sewo se se tšweletšeng kwa ga Mathabata seleting sa Capricorn ka Limpopo. Go tšweletše dipšišamare goba go ile gwa ba le sego se sa kgahlešeng le gatee sa gore banna ba tsenele basadi ba reipe goba ba kate. Re bjalo ka lekgotla la badimo le batho re a ifediša taba ye a re rate le gatee ebile re taba ye tšweletše kwa seleting sa Capricorn ka tsileng ya R37 ka Sontaga ya kgwedi ya gona ye. Pele ba tlo tšhaba batho bao ba diileng molato oo, ba ile ba tsamaya le tšhelete e leng gore a re kgone go e bolela, a re tsebe le gore ke bokae le di-cell phone tša batho ba berekang kua lefilong la bodula batho ye e leng gore ka sekgowa re re ke funeral parlour. Lekgotla la badimo le batho le re gothe badudi ba Mathabata le badudi ba Afrika Borwa ka bophara re thušaneng re ye re yo lebelela re thušane le sephodisa gore re tshware ba dira diphišamare tšeo ba ye ba kgone go ta ba tswalle ka toronkong goba ba yo dula le diphoofolo bjale ka ge ba sa tshwanela le ho dula le setšhaba. Re na le tshepo le tumelo gore lefapha la sephodisa le etilwe pele ke ntata rena
Honourable member, your time is now expired.
Ke a leboga modulasetulo.
The next statement will be from Good.
Thank you, House Chair. House Chair, we also want to address the Jagersfontein disaster. Just last week, Good spoke about the role of the mines in our economy and their relationship to the environment. We appealed for the environmental obligations, assessments, and rehabilitation guarantees of mining operations to be enforced and restructured so that mines protect and restore our environment post-operation. This tragedy also underlines the duty of mines to ensure the safety of communities, their health, their lives, and their homes. The first thing that must be triggered when a mine is closed or sold is this assessment, as well as the financial obligations the mines have to restore the environment to how they found it. Jagersfontein is a textbook example of this, and the community had been warning the local and provincial governments that the dam's proximity and its structural integrity was worrying. It is alarming that the sale of the mine's assets just months before triggered nothing. No risk assessment, no quality control checks, and to top it all, the dam was not even registered with Water Affairs nor Mineral Resources. We must use this as a call to action to improve our control of mining obligations, but we must also be in a position to respond rapidly to disasters, man-made or natural. If mining is to continue to be the economic backbone of this country, a nationwide movement of inspections and regulations has to be done. Water pollution, air pollution, ruined earth, and destroyed ecosystems are already part of our proud mining culture. We have to balance the need to support them and encourage responsible mining, as it is a major economic sector, but we also have a duty not to allow communities to live with a hazard on their doorsteps. Thank you.
The ANC.
The ANC welcomes the arrest of the 10th person in relation to the 28 million stolen from the fund meant for the farmers in Mpumalanga. The official, Yolande Nontsigelelo Kambule, appeared before the magistrate court after she was arrested by the Nelspruit-based Hawks Serious Commercial Crimes Investigating Unit for the fraud. She forms part of the previous 9 trustees who were arrested on the 14th of April 2022. It is alleged that between December 2019 and October 2020, the accused looted Mpumalanga Farmers Fund through misrepresentation by creating and submitting fictitious invoices to RCL, food distributors, and Akwanze, stealing from the fund and prejudicing both entities, causing an actual loss of 28 million. All the accused face charges of fraud and money laundering. The ANC applauds the work done by the Hawks. The government working with the people will defeat corruption. Thank you.
The DA.
Thank you, House Chairperson. The Goodwood Prison's perimeter fence has been extensively vandalized and stolen over recent years. This poses a safety risk to residents, motorists using the N1, as well as the many correctional service officials and their families who reside on these grounds. The ANC government continually demonstrates they care very little for the safety of South Africans. We recently debated the impact of theft and vandalism of public infrastructure, and here we have yet another example of an ANC government which cannot perform the simplest of tasks, such as maintaining a prison perimeter fence. Driving along the N1, the derelict buildings on the grounds are an eyesore and are too being stripped away day by day. The Western Cape has experienced a rapid increase of land invasions in recent years, yet perhaps the Ministers of Correctional Service and Public Works are waiting for this parcel of national government land to be invaded first before they take any action. Thank you.
The EFF.
Thank you, Chair. There is a serious crisis of sabotage of ESCOM operations with the intention of collapsing electricity distribution and subjecting our people to unnecessary blackouts. They do this because they want to irritate us. And when they sell ESCOM for 100 rands, they will wish that we keep quiet and say good riddance. We want to ensure the people of South Africa that all malicious efforts to hand over ESCOM to private interests linked with the establishment will not happen under our watch. Last week, when we adopted SCOPA reports of Oversight's visit to ESCOM, we gave practical solutions to stabilize ESCOM and prevent breakdowns. These are the solutions we have put on the table because we are aware of the cost of these blackouts on municipalities and small businesses. Scrap all corrupt IPP contracts imposed on ESCOM that are not sustainable and affordable since you failed to renegotiate prices. Let's build a coal mine near Kusile as it was initially planned. Kusile Midupi must train engineers, and we must only fix the defects with equipment that our engineers are familiar with. Lastly, is there a reason why Andre Durator is—
Honourable Member, your time is now expired.
Besides the fact that he is protected by whiteness and minister, because he has proved—
Honourable Member, your time is expired.
That he is incompetent. He must go.
The ANC. Order, honourable members.
The ANC strongly condemns the burning of classroom and vandalism that took place at a high school in KwaZulu-Natal in KwaZulu-Natal last week. The incident followed an operation by police where cell phones, weapons, and drugs were confiscated. Shortly after police left, people started burning and torching the premises. The ANC believe ill-disciplined by learners, including the destruction of property, is a serious threat to many gains made to improve the socio-economic conditions in the country. Schools should never be a site of violence and drugs. The confiscation of cell phone, weapons, and illegal substance in the line with the school code of conduct. Our schools should be centers of excellence, not sites of violence and other criminal activities. We call upon parents, guardians, relatives, and all the stakeholders to actively play their role in matters of discipline to assist educators and schools to overcome misconduct, delinquency, and violence by our learners.
The PAC. Is there a statement from the PAC? If not, we will proceed to the ANC.
No statement, Chair. No statement, Chair.
Thank you. The ANC.
Thank you, Chair. The ANC welcomes the 15-year sentence given to a former Hawks policeman, Warrant Officer Daniel Reneke, on Wednesday, 31st August 2022, for stealing confiscated guns and possession of ammunition and explosives. Magistrate Anand Maharaj found the 64-year-old Reneke guilty of a string of offenses related to the theft of firearms from police custody and possession of ammunition. The behavior of police who are involved in corruption is a disgrace. This incident confirms the strongly held view of the prevalence of corruption within the police service. We call on the government to continue cracking down hard on corruption within the police service. Members of society look to law enforcement to assist and protect them. They expect them to be persons of integrity and beyond reproach. The reprehensible behavior by Warrant Officer Daniel Reneke goes against the ethos of the police to serve and protect people. We hope this sentence would serve as a deterrent to police officers contemplating similar conduct. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That concludes member statements. Are there any ministerial responses? The Honourable Minister of Police.
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to invite Mfundisi that we go and walk the street of Deep Slot. When you will realize how peaceful that place is. Since there was an intervention in that place, and many people were arrested who were terrorizing the communities there, and indeed, one person committed crime and that person has been arrested.
as we all know, that criminals will be forever there, but police will respond. So I am inviting Mfundisi to go and walk the street of Diepsloot together. And forget this Diepsloot you see on TV. Let's go on the real Diepsloot so that we're together there. At the ESCOM, you know that there's a special team that has been formulated and quite several people that are committing some sabotage there have been arrested. We also welcome the arrest of this police that was supposed to do the work but committed crime. Not the only one, there are quite several of them. One in Poshepstein in Harding has been sentenced to 165 years as a former police, but committed crime in the taxi industry. But that does not mean that all police are bad. There are many men and women in blue who are doing their work, and we really applaud them and we support them. We are calling on the community. We are working with the community to find those people that raped women in the parlor there. Lastly, we are calling on parents with the issue of Kwandengezi, where police went to school because they had information. They found things that are not supposed to be at school. But it's saddening us that some parents are supporting the student for revolting after the police have done their work to get things that are illegal from school. So the call is on parents here and the communities to work together with the police to eradicate the crime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. I now recognize on the virtual platform the Honourable Minister of Human Settlements, who will be followed by the Honourable Minister of Justice and Correctional Services. Thereafter, the Honourable Minister of Public Enterprises, the Honourable Minister of Health, the Honourable Minister of Public Works, and then the Deputy Minister of Basic Education, the Honourable Minister of Human Settlements.
Thank you very much, House Chair. Good afternoon to you and members. Let's appreciate the statement by several members that relates to Jagersfontein. Firstly, indeed, we send our condolences to the communities there, but also wishing those who are still in hospital speedy recovery. The President was in Jagersfontein yesterday to see for himself first leading government intervention. One of the issues there was first to respond in terms of providing support to the communities. All departments were on site, Department of Health providing health services, providing counseling, also together with social development, but also providing support in terms of relocation of families. We can say to honorable members and South Africans that none of the families are actually staying in the halls. They've provided with alternative accommodation those who have been displaced. And also in terms of rebuilding and looking at the communities, we have started, for example, NHBRC from Human Settlements has gone into the community to start assessing the structural integrity of the buildings so that we know that there's work that is being done from water department, water and sanitation, water tankers has been provided. From police, divers have been there in terms of rescue, search and rescue to be able to support the community. So indeed, the DDM model is at play, where you have national, provincial, and local government working together to respond to that. In relation to the mining activity, the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Minister Mantashe, is on site dealing with specifically that. There has been an issue around this issue where the mining dams were declared by SCA not to be in terms of the mining rights and within the legal framework. And they are now regarded under labor. And this is an issue that Minister Mantashe is taking up with to say, he sees it as judicial overreach. And therefore there is a need to look at it for avoiding future implication. I want to respond also to the issue around post office. Minister Nchaben is not here. She's actually hosting GovTech, but I know for sure that she will definitely take the matter up in terms of post office. She's been working very hard to turn around post office, including ensuring that the separation between post office and post bank happens with the appointment of the board there. She's been working, ensuring that the systems are in place. And I do believe that if those allegations are true, she will definitely act and act accordingly, as she has been actually championing the work that she's doing. To the DA Chief Whip on the issues around cost of living, just as I conclude, Chair, is that it's not correct that government doesn't care. Government has intervened through the Department of Mineral Resources and Treasury, where we've been able to cushion South Africans around the cost of fuel, which contributes to the cost of living. If we look at the prices of food, you start noticing from June,
Honourable
actually,
Minister,
that has
your
gone
time
down.
is now expired. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. The Honourable Minister of Justice and Correctional Services.
Thank you very much, House Chairperson. I want to respond to the statement by Honourable Judith Shabalala, and I fully agree with her with regards to the ANC and the partners they are working with in the city of Johannesburg. It is not a backdoor process. It is a process provided by the law. What is happening in the city of Johannesburg to collapse the marriage of convenience between the DA and the other partners that they were having. The people and the other organizations have seen the true colors of the DA, that they are still yearning the years of apartheid, where services are only delivered in a racially skewed manner, in a manner that is following the apartheid spatial planning, only looking after the affluent suburbs and only those of the white color. But the ANC, as it works with all the coalition partners, intends to provide services to all the citizens of the city of Johannesburg, irrespective of their color, political affiliation, or creed. So this is not a back door, it's a front door, and it's part of democracy that the DA must accept because it's provided for by the laws of the city of Johannesburg. So they must not cry foul that there is any intention to look at the kitty by the ANC. It's not after the kitty, but the ANC wants to provide services to all the people of the city of Johannesburg as it has provided before, and it will continue to do so in the city of Tshwane, in the city of Ekurhuleni, and in the city of the Nelson Mandela Metro, because the ANC provides services to everyone, irrespective of their color. So Honourable Steenhuisen must not want to hide behind the ANC for their ill deeds and all the maladministration that they've done in all these metros. It is not the ANC, it's their lack of service delivery, it's their maladministration, it's their failure to administer all these metros that makes these other parties that they have been working with to want to leave the marriage of convenience, because they see through the eyes of the DA that the DA is not for governance. It is only interested in providing services to the people that they want in a racially skewed manner. As it was done under apartheid, they are still yearning for the apartheid type of special development. But we are not yearning for that as the ANC. We are yearning for a development that is for the benefit of all the people, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their creed. And I also want to assure Reverend Mishwe, whether are we able to assure South Africans of their safety, that indeed the biggest deterrent to crime is the fact that someone who commits a crime knows that one day he or she will be arrested, will be prosecuted, and will be convicted. And that is